Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails judiciary for striking balance between development and environment. A 12-member delegation to accompany US President Donald Trump during his two-day visit to India beginning Monday. President Ramnath Kovind calls on traditional media to introspect its role in society and find ways to earn readers' full trust again. World-famous Goa Carnival to begin in Panaji today. First ever Khelo India University Games to open this evening in Cuttack. And New Zealand were 216 for 5 at stumps on the second day of the first test match against India at Basin Reserve. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the Supreme Court for redefining environmental jurisprudence, saying the judiciary has struck balance between development and environment. He was addressing the two-day International Judicial Conference organized by Supreme Court in New Delhi today. Mr. Modi underlined that the rule of law is the basis of social transformation and the changes in the system should be rational as per law. He said the law is supreme and the people of India have strong faith in the judiciary.
भारतीय समाज में रूल ऑफ लॉ सामाजिक संस्कारों का आधार है। हमारे यहाँ कहा गया है क्षत्रयस्य क्षत्रम यत धर्म, यानी लॉ इज द किंग ऑफ किंग्स, लॉ इज सुप्रीम। हजारों वर्षों से चले आ रहे ऐसे ही विचार एक बड़ी वजह है कि हर भारतीय की न्यायपालिका पर अगाध आस्था है।
The Prime Minister said the government has repealed 1,500 obsolete laws and also came out with new laws related to transgender rights and abolishing triple talaq.
देश में ऐसे करीब 1500 पुराने कानूनों को समाप्त किया गया है, जिनकी आज के दौर में प्रासंगिकता समाप्त हो रही। समाज को मजबूती देने वाले नए कानून भी उतनी ही तेजी से बनाए गए। ट्रांसजेंडर पर्सन्स के अधिकारों से जुड़ा कानून हो, 3 तलाक के खिलाफ कानून हो या फिर दिव्यांग जनों के अधिकारों का दायरा बढ़ाने वाला कानून, सरकार ने पूरी संवेदनशीलता से काम किया है।
In an apparent remark on the recent Supreme Court's decisions on Ayodhya land dispute, the Prime Minister said a lot of talk has taken place prior to the decision, but people have accepted the verdict wholeheartedly. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Justice of India S.A. Bobde said the Constitution has created a strong and independent judiciary. India has strived to keep this basic feature intact.
The Constitution also created a strong and independent judiciary which was separated from the executive and the legislature. We have strived at every turn, not just as an institution, but also as a citizenry, to keep these basic ideals intact.
Law and Justice Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said that in a democracy, both the dissent and populism should be welcomed, but populism becomes a problem when it impinges upon the constitutional mandate. Now, moving on to US President's visit to India.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my friend, a friend of India, a great American president, Mr. Donald Trump.
One of America's greatest, most devoted, and most loyal friends, Prime Minister Modi of India. Thank you.
A 12-member delegation will accompany US President Donald Trump during his two-day visit to India beginning Monday. The delegation will comprise of Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, Energy Secretary Dan Brolette, National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, Acting Chief of Staff Mike Mulvaney, Senior Advisors to the President Stephen Miller and Dan Scavino, Special Representative for International Telecommunication Policy and Senior Advisor to the Chief of Staff Robert Blair, and White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham are the other members of the delegation. President Trump's advisor and his daughter Ivanka Trump and his son-in-law and senior advisor to him, Jared Kushner, will also be visiting India. United States Ambassador to India, Ken Juster, will also be traveling with the visiting delegation. American President Trump's visit to India demonstrates the strong and enduring ties between both the countries. New Delhi shares a robust defense relationship with Washington. A report.
2014 onwards, landmark defense agreements like Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement permitting military forces of both the countries to use each other's facilities, Communication Compatibility and Security Agreement which gives access of real-time American intelligence and defense technology transfer agreement enables smooth transfer of classified technology and information between private entities has been signed by both the countries. The impetus to the bilateral defense trade can easily be gauged from the fact that from almost negligible trade in 2008, the figures have crossed whopping $18 billion by the end of last December. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, New Delhi.
Our correspondent reports that Ahmedabad is all decked up to welcome US President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump on Monday.
Registrations for the Namaste Trump event have crossed 1 lakh already, and the people of the city are ready to welcome the two leaders as they participate in the 22-kilometer India roadshow, culminating with the inauguration of the Sardar Patel Stadium in Ahmedabad.
I'm very excited to see Melania Trump because she's so inspiring and her speeches are so powerful.
Definitely वो एक नारी सशक्ति का मैसेज पास ऑन करती है हर एक वुमन के लिए.
लोग वो ही रास्तों से निकलेंगे जहाँ से हम शायद रोज डेली बेसिस पे ट्रैवल करते हैं. हम जहाँ जाते हैं वहाँ ट्रम्प की बात हुई. आज तक हमने ट्रम्प, मोदी, मेलानिया को सिर्फ टीवी, पोस्टर्स और न्यूज़पेपर्स पे देखा है. अब रियल में देखेंगे तो और एक्साइटेड.
आज जो गर्व भारतीय सिटीजन का हो रहा है और उससे भी ज्यादा अब तो ये गर्व हो रहा है कि हम वर्ल्ड सिटीजन हैं.
Shantanu Pratap Singh, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is unlikely to accompany US President Donald Trump and his family members during the visit to the Taj Mahal in Agra on Monday. Official sources said the visit to Taj Mahal by the US President and the First Lady will afford them the opportunity to view the historical monument suitably. They said no official engagements or presence of senior dignitaries from the Indian side is envisaged there. The White House has said President Trump's forthcoming visit to India demonstrates the strong and enduring ties between the two largest democracies of the world. A senior administration official told reporters in Washington that these are ties based on shared democratic traditions, common strategic interest, and enduring bonds between the people of the two countries. He said this has been exemplified by the very close relationship between President Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The official said the visit will focus on several key areas. BJP today hit out at the Congress for being skeptical about US President Donald Trump's visit to India. Briefing reporters in New Delhi, party spokesperson Sambit Patra questioned why the Congress is not happy when the country's stature has been raised globally. Mr. Patra said Trump's visit will be a landmark moment in the Indo-US relationship and advised the Congress to start taking pride in the nation's achievements. President Ramnath Kovind has said that the traditional media that has developed skills to authenticate news should introspect on its role in society and find ways to earn readers' full trust again. He was addressing the gathering after inaugurating the 4th edition of the Huddle, an event sponsored by the Hindu English newspaper in Bangalore today. The President said internet and social media have democratized journalism and revitalized democracy, but have also led to anxieties in society.
The new media is fast and popular, and people can choose what they want to watch, hear, or read. But only the traditional media has, over years, developed skills to authenticate a news report, and that is a costly operation.
More from a correspondent.
The President, Mr. Ramnath Kovind, in his speech extensively conveyed the message that it is the role of media to disseminate truth to the citizens so that the informed citizens can empower democracy. He pointed out that we are today living in post-truth era when attempts are being made to give various states of truth and define the stages from provisional truth to final truth. The President said these are attempts indulging in semantics. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit the News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. The world-famous Goa Carnival will begin this evening in the capital Panaji. The festival, which displays Goan art and culture, is celebrated with fun, frolic, pomp and splendor. More from a correspondent.
The mood in Panaji city is quite festive and all the preparations are done for the float parade. The floats carry different messages and themes, and there is also a band of music and troops of artists on each float vehicle. Local as well as foreign tourists participate in this carnival festival. Tonight, streets in Panaji will be lit up with marching bands, group dances and artists dressed in colorful costumes. Mukesh Thale for AIR News, Panaji, Goa.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the first ever Khelo India University Games at Cuttack in Odisha this evening. Mr. Modi will declare the games open via video conferencing. The event will be attended by several dignitaries and sportspersons, including Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik and Union Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju. More from our correspondent.
Odisha is all set to host the first ever Khelo India University Games today. The Games will become the largest ever competition to be held at the university level in India, where over 3,500 athletes from 159 universities across the country will compete for 207 golds, 207 silver and 287 bronze medal events. The competition will be held in 17 sports disciplines. Badminton and table tennis will be held at the Jawaharlal Nehru Indoor Stadium in Cuttack, while athletics will be held at the iconic Kalinga Stadium in the state capital. The mega event will conclude on 1st March. Tapan Maharana, AIR News, Cuttack.
New Zealand were 216 for 5 in the first innings at stumps in reply to India's total of 165 on the second day of the opening test at Basin Reserve today. B.J. Watling and Colin D. Granholm were at the crease during the break as New Zealand took a 51-run lead. Kane Williamson with 89 was the top scorer, while Ross Taylor chipped in with a useful contribution of 44. Indian pacer Ishant Sharma took 3 wickets. Earlier resuming at the overnight score of 122 for 5, India lost the rest of the 5 wickets, adding just 43 runs. For the host, Team Saudi and Kyle Jamieson claimed 4 wickets each. Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat highlights the age-old bonds of a diversification. Under this campaign, people of neighboring states visit each other and share experiences of unique culture, music, dance and tourist spots of the partner state. Under this series, we have a report from Mizoram, which is paired with Bihar in this campaign. Our Aizawl correspondent has more.
Bihar is home of many tribal communities and languages. The Spring Festival, Holi and Chhath are indigenous to the state. Bihar is famous for the UNESCO World Heritage Site at both Gaya and Madhubani painting. A number of people from Mizoram frequently travel to places in Bihar for study and occupation. Dr. Nunpari Silo, who did her postgraduate from Patna Medical College, said,
I realized the city was pretty safe. There were many coming developments as well during my stay. I didn't face much problems adjusting to the place and its culture when I went to Patna, Bihar.
An engineer from Bihar, Pramit Kumar, who is presently working in Aizawl, shares his nice cultural experience in Mizoram.
Mizoram state is a cultural rich state and people have high moral value. So many clubs, particularly a sports club, music concert organized in city in a regular basis.
Officials of Art and Culture Department said the cultural exchange programs between people of 2 states will be held last week of this month. Irene for AIR News, Aizawl.
The National Museum in New Delhi is hosting a unique exhibition on India's ancient food history called Historical Gastronomica, the Indus dining experience till the 25th of this month that goes back to over 5,000 years ago. The event is curated jointly by the National Museum and One Station Million Stories, OSMS, is based on archaeological research, museum artifacts and their characteristics. The exhibition demonstrates the evolution of food habits, food processing techniques and related architecture of the Harappans. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails judiciary for striking balance between development and environment. A 12-member delegation to accompany US President Donald Trump during his 2-day visit to India beginning Monday. President Ramnath Kovind calls on traditional media to introspect its role in society and find ways to earn readers' full trust again. World-famous Goa Carnival to begin in Panaji today. First ever Khelo India University Games to open this evening in Cuttack. And New Zealand were 216 for 5 at stumps on the second day of the first test match against India at Basin Reserve. And for details of these stories and more, visit our News on AIR app and log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the Midday News.